It's a marathon, not a sprint. Words from Coach Van Pelt. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron. This is Sports Talk Patriots. One-stop shop, anything New England Patriots, rumors, insights, whatever it may be, we're going to talk about it here. So do me a favor before we get started. As always, hit that subscribe button, pound that subscribe button, smash that subscribe button, like, comment, you know the deal. So, New England Patriots, the whole process, it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint, not looking to rush anything. And so in this whole process, I think that Coach Van Pelt has been great when it has come to an offense that is struggling, coming off a rough season. We've talked about many times on this channel. But when it comes down to it, I think he is taking the very smart approach of saying, hey, whoa. Yes, we've seen videos of Drake Maye going out there dominating. Yes, we've seen Polk or Baker or whatnot dominate. But at the same time, we don't want to just rush people in, especially when there's a suspect offensive line there. So, saw this, thought it was awesome. Ideal quarterback plan. I think this is perfect. So, case in point, lays out the perfect three reasons Jacoby Brissett is here. So, reason number one is obviously to play quarterback. There's a reason he's a veteran cornerback in the league. He has that experience. He's played before. You've heard me say this before. He is kind of the quintessential game manager. I hate that term. Any good quarterback should be a game manager. Don't let people dictate that certain people, they're only this. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, great, two of the best to ever do it. Obviously, Tom Brady, the best to ever do it. Great game managers and still could put up ridiculous stats. And so Jacoby Brissett, though, I think it's one of those things where he's stepping into a role where, hey, we want you to go in there and we have a very serviceable defense that is solid. Go out there, make some plays, don't get too crazy, and we can very well be in some games. And that was case in point last year with that defense. So next one, I thought this was perfect. Help restore locker room leadership. That takes a hit, and so I think that restoring the locker room leadership, especially after you see this whole Belichick era, unfortunately kind of coming to a crash, and Bill Belichick leaving, Gerard Mayo taking the reins. It's probably, I'm not going to say probably, it is definitely the way Bill Belichick did not want to go out, especially after the whole situation where Tom Brady leaves, goes to Tampa Bay, wins the Super Bowl. For a fact Bill Belichick wanted to win a Super Bowl without Tom Brady, so he could say that, hey, look at me, because everyone's saying it was Tom Brady, it was Tom Brady. Well, it's a team sport, so it was multiple people. A lot of great players over the years for the Patriots. We all know that. Bill Belichick, regardless of what you want to say, great coach, but like we've talked in other episodes before, Bill Belichick wants to come back next year. He still is in the hunt for another Super Bowl. I don't think he'll get it, but he might surprise us. So I think it's that the leadership is one of the things, and then as well, the most important thing is the offensive line, the trenches. If they are not playing well behind Jacoby Brissett, why in the world would you put an asset like Drake Maye behind that line just to get annihilated? You're not going to. It's not a smart move. So that doesn't mean that he's not going to get in there eventually and play, but especially to start the season, if there's miscommunication, if they're not picking up blitzes correctly, if they're switching people every week and they're trying to find kind of what works best, and you're going to put a rookie quarterback in there with some receivers that don't have a ton of experience, especially if you're playing Polk and Baker. And I love Pop, but still Pop this is only going to be his second year. So when it comes down to it, it's just not a smart move. So I think that's perfect. We need Jacoby in there to kind of hopefully set the tone, be a placekeeper, and as we've said before, pass that torch. So I think that is very important. I thought this was interesting too, how we measure Drake Maye's progress. And I think what's really interesting is you look at this training camp, and in training camp, if Jacoby Brissett goes out there and Drake Maye, they both go out there, and at the end, they're kind of neck and neck, they're tied, I still am going to say we need to put Jacoby Brissett in there, because it's just not going to be a smart move to throw Drake Maye behind offensive line in the NFL with all these different blitz packages just to get them tore up. The kid's going to get shell shocked. It's not going to be good. So even that in that situation. Now, if it just would happen to be that Drake Maye comes out and balls crazy, and it's like, hey, he does well preseason, and they tried, and especially at the end, they try to get that starting line in there, and it looks all right, then maybe that might be different. That might be a different discussion. But at this point right now, Jacoby for sure. So that's the first thing. I thought that was awesome by Van Pelt saying, hey, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Because I think too often in the NFL, think back long ago in the NFL, how many coaches would get so much time, and they would have so many rough seasons, or players would have rough seasons, but they would still be the quarterback, or they would still be playing their position. And it was a lot different back then. Now, fans, especially as we watch football, it's like, hey, we need a turnaround right now. We need it right now. And sometimes when you have that, and people are trying to force that onto an organization, it's way too much pressure. People collapse to the pressure, and and then you just got to start all over. That's the whole thing. So I think Van Pelt saying this, hey, let's start from the bottom, let's build this foundation, and then let's work up. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We got a long way to go. I think that's perfect. I think that's a very coach talk, coach-like thing to say. So that's the first thing. Second thing I want to talk about is Elliot. Where's he at? Elliot Wolf, the de facto GM, whatever you want to call him. So I thought this was a great tweet that just essentially talked about how he wants to weaponize the Patriots and what he's tried to do. One bullet that we dodged was Calvin Ridley. I don't care if you like Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, let me pull this up. He's going to the Titans, if you didn't know. All right, right here. Let me exit out this. My fault. Right here. 4 years, average salary every year, $23,000. Total value, $92,000. I'm here to tell you, look at me. Calvin Ridley is not worth that. I don't care what you think. And Calvin Ridley wants to get paid that money. I totally understand that, because he left a good situation with the Jaguars. I hate the whole gambling situation he had in Atlanta. Going to the Jaguars, he had it pretty good with Trevor Lawrence. Now he's going to Will Levis, the Titans. And can you name any offensive weapons on that team? Because Derrick Henry's gone. Will Levis, young quarterback. That's going to be rough going. That is going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL coming down. Mike Vrabel, golly, I can't say it. Mike Vrabel, gone. Okay, so it's going to be rough going for the Tennessee Titans. So dodged a bullet, but Wolf trying to get some sort of weapon, trying to get someone, and then I thought this was crazy. So he offered the 34th pick in the 2024 draft for Ayuk. That got turned down. Again, 49ers had said multiple times, Ayuk, not for trade. So that situation is going to be very interesting in San Francisco. May have to jump on with my buddy who does the San Francisco channel and see what he has to say about it. I think that would be great, maybe down the road. But both those failed. And what's crazy is Patriots take that 34th pick, trade it to the Chargers. They get that wide receiver out of Georgia, Lad something, I can't remember his name. They must have really liked him. But I think the Patriots and Wolf sitting at that spot, going back to 37 and then getting pick 110. What do they do with both those picks? They pick Polk at 37 and they pick Baker at 110. Solid pickups, solid pickups, especially when they're trying to get weapons on that offense, trying to get people that can get the ball and make moves with the ball. So I think, for the situations they were put in, I'm kind of glad, again, we didn't get Ayuk. I like Ayuk. I think he's athletic, but I also think he's trouble. I think he's going to make issues, and I don't know if that's the type of leadership you want in the locker room. Again, I'm still high on T. Higgins. I know a lot of people have said, well, time out. T. Higgins, he's gonna be rented for 1 year and you're gonna give up second round pick, I would agree. Okay, what if we did a third or fourth round pick? I think that would probably be a little different. But who's to say he comes out is a true number one for the Patriots this year, and then obviously pay the man if he's going to be good. He's 25 years old right now. He's young. He has a lot of potential. But then again, I can go either way. I see Polk and Baker like, hey, and Pop, you got a lot of young talent. Let's see where that goes. I'm on that train too. So I can see a lot of different avenues. And so, and what's interesting too is, let's say this year Polk and Baker get a decent amount of playing time, and it's kind of, hey, I don't know if this is going to work out for them. It's still an opportunity to get T. Higgins down the road when his contract is up with the Bengals. So you never know. I also just looked at the free agents right now. Hunter Renfrow. There we go, guys. I'm sorry. It's the end of the week. I'm struggling with names. Not with names, just pronouncing the names. I love Michael Thomas, but he is old and he just is hurt all the time. But man, he was skilled. At his prime, gosh, he was so good. Besides that, there's no one here that like really jumps out to me that I'm like, gosh, yeah, that would be a great pickup. And so I'm gonna say, yeah, it's gonna be a pass for me. Whatever the guy on American Idol used to say, the OG American Idol. But this is what I want you to do. Comment below. What do you think when it comes to the quarterback situation? Do you think that's the smart play to let Jacoby play? I'm going to assume everyone's going to say yes. I know there's a ton of you that apparently still think Joe Milton's the answer, and I hope you see the light one day. Athletic, yes. NFL quarterback, not starting quarterback, no. But as well, what do you think about the wide receiver situation? Are you glad that we passed on Calvin Ridley or at least didn't get Calvin Ridley and Brandon Ayuk? What's your thoughts? Comment below. I truly appreciate it. This is Sports Talk Patriots. My name's Aaron. Hit that subscribe button. You guys rock. We will see you later. Peace.